Karen laughed when my farm burned, and now half her neighborhood sits abandoned because of everything that came after. The fire began on a windy afternoon while I was working in the barn. A spark from a failing transformer dropped into the dry weeds near my fence. Within minutes, flames raced across my pasture and swallowed my old storage shed. I grabbed a hose, dialed 911, and tried to fight it myself. When firefighters finally arrived, they carved a firebreak and stopped the blaze before it reached my home. I stood covered in ash, shaking, staring at the scorched ground, and that's when she appeared. Karen, the infamous HOA president, stood on her floorless lawn with her arms crossed, smirking. "You should have kept your trash property cleaned up," she sneered. She claimed the fire crew wouldn't have had to show up if I lived like normal people. Neighbors stared in disbelief while she joked that farmers were always starting bonfires. I didn't argue, I just took photos, walked the perimeter, and documented every bit of the destruction. The fire marshal finished his report and confirmed the fire started from electrical equipment failure, not from anything I did. But Karen didn't stop. She filed a complaint accusing my property of being unsafe. She demanded I pay fines for fire hazards, even though the official report proved she was lying. At the next HOA meeting, she openly mocked me, saying people with farm lifestyles didn't belong in a modern community. I'd lived here long before her HOA even existed. So, I hired an attorney and we got to work. We gathered the marshal's report, transformer maintenance records, and photos of her side of the fence because, while she accused me of neglect, her property line was packed with dead brush, overgrown weeds, and piles of debris. That's when everything flipped. The county inspector arrived for a full wildfire safety audit. What he found was a disaster. HOA-owned greenbelts were full of dry grass, broken irrigation, and zero defensible space. With the same winds that hit my farm, her neighborhood could have gone up like a matchbox. The inspector issued a mandatory fire mitigation order and gave the HOA 30 days to clean everything up. Karen refused. She called the county bullies and insisted homeowners shouldn't pay for imaginary threats. So the county started issuing fines, big ones. The HOA ignored those too. Then the county filed a notice to place a lien on the HOA's shared property. Letters went out to every resident, and that's when panic erupted. Homeowners learned the very fire she mocked could have wiped out their entire subdivision. They saw proof she ignored fire safety laws for years. Within weeks, half the neighborhood put their homes up for sale. Buyers disappeared. Investors backed away. Property values collapsed so fast that people simply walked away from their mortgages. The HOA's bank account drained from fines and legal bills. Roads went unmaintained. Landscaping died, and utilities started failing. One resident called it a ghost town. Karen tried blaming me, but no one bought her lies anymore. At the next meeting, the community voted her out as HOA president. The county enforced a cleanup she refused to do. Meanwhile, my land is growing green again. The young couple who stayed helped me replant the pasture and rebuild my shed. Karen's perfect little empire turned into empty houses and for-sale signs, all because she mocked someone else's tragedy and ignored the law. If you enjoy stories where HOAs get what's coming to them, hit like and subscribe.